some of you guys may recognize Libby Greiwe, the Efficient Advisor. She was one of our keynotes from our conference last year. I am also going to invite up Lisa and Lauren to join me, and we'll get started here. No dance music, or no intro music. I mean, you can dance right on up here, but I sure can. Hey, Libby. Guys, I am super excited. Thanks so much. I am super excited for this session today, and I think. Thanks, Lauren. We are going to tag team this conversation today. As I mentioned earlier, many of you may recognize Libby as she joined us last year and focused a lot on those efficiencies, right? Transitioning the way that you introduce a new client, bringing a new client on board, streamlining. She was all about the devils in the details and process, blah, 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 I think is the way you put it. And it's not sexy, but it works. And here's how we turn that process into a really wow experience for clients. And I will introduce the folks on the panel as I think you guys all know them, but Lisa is the founder of ARC Financial Wellness. She is really the poster child for taking the things and making them happen. I think out of every conference you've attended so far, so Lisa's been with us a little over 3 years. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. She's really an inspiration to, I think, a lot of folks who find themselves in a situation where maybe it's time to just break away. That is a scary proposition, right? To break away and start at ground zero. Which is precisely what Lisa did with her partner Isabel, and I think has turned a ground zero into Lisa's RIA only, so she's associated with us through Blackridge Asset Management, and about 35 million under management, maybe a little bit more. In that span of 3 years, started from scratch, and as I said, has really engaged with from a marketing standpoint with one of our past presenters, and then in this past year with Libby, right, in the coaching program, and has gone through that. We'll start out, and then Lauren, I think everybody knows, but Lauren is joining us because we have, as I indicated yesterday, a little bit of a surprise announcement during this session, and Lauren's going to be a big part of that. So she'll be piping in towards the end here. But Lisa, I'd like to kick it off with you and really talk about where you were at the end of the conference last year, and how your decision to engage Libby started and where you're at.
Okay. We were amid a huge growth spurt at the conference last year, to which ended the year 60% more in AUM than we started. So Isabel and I were busting at the seams. So I was looking for help. I had met Libby. Libby has a podcast, The Efficient Advisor. I've become a podcast junkie, and my kids think I'm a total nerd, but it's fine. So I'd been listening to her. She had been giving away, tons of free guidance and advice about streamlining and processes, and so that's where we were. We needed to figure out. So Isabel and I ultimately we were to the point where we were like, okay, we need to hire somebody, but we don't know who we need to hire next in order to get us from A to B. So that's where Libby came in. We started. I started with her group coaching program in August, and we're amid it right now. Actually, we have about a month and a half left. You'll go through June, and it was mainly to help us figure out, kind of get our ducks in a row in terms of organization and processes and all of that internally, in preparation to bring somebody on, which in my mind, when we hired Libby, I thought we would already bring somebody on by now, but she's helped us. Her big thing is figure out how to automate, delegate, delete, or streamline. And so all of the processes that she's having us go through during this group coaching program actually has helped us to realize we didn't need to hire as quickly as I thought. And then I'm slowly figuring out who we are going to need to hire. So the program starts with kind of identifying, which I talked about this a little bit yesterday in the branding session, identifying your ideal client, which Libby refers to as your ICA, ideal client avatar. So she has us go through a process early on and figuring out, who we want to work with, who we bring the most value to, and who we make the most money off of, and kind of commingling those. Once you identify that, then she has us go through some time tracking activities. And similar to what Matt alluded to yesterday, not only is it for realizing how much time we waste in a day and helping us kind of get to a model day, but the time tracking activities help in a couple of other ways. So we'll track our entire week, and then we track the time that we spend. For us, we do financial planning, similar to Lee and Phil. And we do a financial planning kind of coaching program. And I was tracking how from start to finish how much time that I'm spending with these clients in the 6-month coaching program that we offer. And it helped me realize that I wasn't charging enough for the planning fees. So we've since bumped our fees. So you sort of do the math, divide your hours, and you don't know how much time you're spending until you track by every 15-minute increments. And then I had to put my phone away and tell my kids to stop texting me in the middle of the day because that was a problem. So that was helpful. And then the other thing that time tracking has helped us do is realize that there are some things that Isabel and I brought over from our other firm that we had initially started doing, like quarterly portfolio webinars and sending those out to clients, which was extremely time consuming. Our new client market, or our ideal client, has no interest in that. They don't have time for that. They're very similar to Isabel and I. They have kids, they're dual income families. So cutting that out created more time for us to do other things. So everything that we do, and Libby's really good about drilling this in our head. I have a post-it on my computer. We name our ideal client. So I have Jack and Jill Beachcomber, and everything that I do, from client events to marketing to social media posts, I look at my Jack and Jill and think, is this important to them? Is this of value to them? If not, delete it. And so that's been super, super helpful. So that's kind of the gist of what we've been working with her on over these past, 8 months. So
if we have Libby, you must be like living like by here. Is it good to hear somebody tell your story because she's living it? I bet that's probably really hopefully really fulfilling. But one quick question of Lisa before Libby, I pass it over to you because I'm really excited to launch our new program. But Lisa, what are some of the things, if you were to say top 3, that you've learned during this program that you have implemented and you've seen a difference?
So the time tracking has been huge, in realizing that we weren't charging enough for the value that we're giving our clients. Little stupid things that we know how to do, but same reason clients hire us. Sometimes they know what they're supposed to do, but they need somebody to hold their hand and need accountability. Organizing our digital files, so I'm not wasting more time than I realized when I did the time tracking, trying to find a document or trying to find the template that I created to make me more efficient, but then I couldn't figure out where it was. So just getting organized in that fashion. And then the ideal client, realizing who we really brought value to. And now creating all of our, we work with a social media person, and creating all of our posts and all of our content around that has greatly helped continue to bring, because we're, mostly referral based, but also people will find us online, and it's because we're posting content that they're interested in. So
right, the tone, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
So before I pass it over to Libby, I will just acknowledge the fact that, again, Lisa and Isabel have really been, really early adopters and dive full in, right? I think you recognize it. Fascinating to me that you really are at this point and still now figuring out who it is that you need to hire, right? Because you probably would have, as Jeff, kind of spoke of yesterday as well. If you don't know who you're going to hire, you go through that process and you end up, having to get rid of, something that isn't the right fit, right talent, right, whatever. But not everybody's going to dive into a 10-month program, right? That takes a lot. You've been honest in that sometimes you fall behind, right? Sometimes you've slid off the wagon and had to get back in there. But that's a significant time commitment. It's also, something that obviously you're full force in, but that's been, that's a long time commitment, right?
It is. Yeah. It's once a week for, yeah, and there's some breaks here and there, but I'm perpetually behind. Libby knows this, and it's okay. So the content's available to us for another year after, and she has a good way of helping me figure out where I'm at and how to get caught up. We also have pods. She calls them pods, where she's connected us with like-minded, other advisors that have businesses similar to ours come out of this group. But I don't know, Libby can confirm, there's maybe 70 advisors in the current coaching group, but she breaks us down. And so I've got my own pod that I help run. There's 7 or 8 of us, and we meet. It's kind of part of the program.
All these
share
separate
ideas, and it's it's just like being here, sharing ideas with your peers and seeing what they're doing, and they share their templates on their financial plan checklist. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that. So we're sharing ideas. It's been great.
Fantastic. So, in the spirit of what can we do to make something like this available to all of our advisors, and acknowledging the fact that not everybody is going to go buy into a year's worth of commitment, and how do we get those quick wins? How do I feel an impact, get a taste of it, and know that this is something that maybe could be beneficial for me long term? Libby, I'm going to pass it over to you, my friend.
Yeah. Well, hi everyone. I'm Libby Greiwe. I'm so jealous that you guys are at the event of the year. I had such a great time last year, and I'm excited to be part of it again, even if I'm just a little talking head on a screen. So soak it up, enjoy it. It's a great conference and a great couple of days for you. So I want to know, do you want to build a wildly referable, scalable practice that is deeply fulfilling for you and for your clients? If so, it starts with onboarding. So research tells us that the first 100 days of a client's experience with you and your business is literally everything. And we're going to be doing a live series of calls. So I'm super excited about this, but we're going to do kind of a mini coaching program focused on just this one really effective, really impactful process. And I'm going to show you how to turn this first 100-day window into this powerful growth engine for referrals inside of your business. And we're not just talking how to do paperwork to transfer accounts or how to set up client portals. We're going to be reframing onboarding through the lens of client psychology, reducing friction, deepening trust, and really creating this experience for your clients that they can't help but share with their friends and family. So what you can expect as a result of this program: number 1, referrals from clients within the first 100 days. So before you've even proven or demonstrated your full value, clients will be so impressed by the experience, and they will notice that it's so different from anything they've ever experienced at another financial advisor's office, right? They'll start telling their friends and family right away. Number 2 is you'll notice, or the result will be, a very elevated client experience. Advisors come into our group coaching program all the time saying something to the effect of, well, my clients aren't leaving. Nobody's disappointed in the client experience, but I know that I can do better, and I know I want to do more. So you'll finally be delivering that super high touch, intentional experience that most advisors desire, but they really just don't have the systems or the time to create it. So I'll be giving you step-by-step guides, workbooks, templates, sample language, everything that you need to build off of to create your first 100 days. You'll also have the result of a proactive, more organized business. And who doesn't want that? So many of us are exactly in that position where Lisa was. I know because I was there too. I can remember having that inflection moment inside of my business where I realized it was running me versus me running it. And I felt like I was in this reactive stance as opposed to being able to be proactive. So we're going to make sure that you're done flying by the seat of your pants. You're done recreating the wheel every time you bring on a new client. You're done winging it. We're going to create a system that scales so you can automate it, you can delegate it, and you can free up a ton of your time to do what you do best, which is delivering value to your clients. So here's what it's going to look like. We're going to break it down into 4 really, really high impact live sessions. The first session is going to be very foundational. We're going to talk about client psychology, what the science shows us around the first 100 days of your client's experience. We're going to talk about how to build the 3 layers of every process, and we're going to map your onboarding process. The second live session is going to be all around the first days 1 through 30 of your client onboarding. We're going to show you how to build strong, repeatable processes that you can start implementing. And we're going to really build out some major table stakes that every advisor should be doing within the first 30 days. The third session is going to focus around days 30 through 60. And we're going to really show you how to do some things to surprise and delight your clients, to really take that experience to the next level, to deepen the emotional connection that they have with you. The third session is going to be all about the middle stages and how to really shock and awe our clients. We're going to make sure that they stay engaged and that they know how they're going to be treated. And the fourth session is going to be all around how to tie it all together, how to implement it, and how to transition your clients smoothly into your ongoing service model. And these aren't just any sessions. This isn't just a live where I'm going to talk at you for an hour. They're going to be real working sessions where we're going to actually get stuff done right there and then. We're going to do the work together so you can leave with something completed in each session, not just another good idea on your to-do list that's just going to sit on the back table in your office until you have free time, which we all know never happens. So I'll also see you for 2 live office hours sessions so we can get your personal questions answered. I know everybody's business is unique. And while most of these concepts apply across the board to all advisors, you're going to have questions about how to tweak it to work for your personal situation. So there's tons of live one-on-one time where you have the option to ask questions and get answers and get unstuck on anything that you might be stuck on. Then I'm really excited because you guys have not just any kind of broker-dealer behind you. You've got Peak. And Peak is really committed to this, and this is really fun. So you guys are seriously so lucky because Regina and Lauren will be joining us and running these small pods like Lisa just mentioned. So this formula, live sessions, done-for-you templates, small group accountability, this is the framework that our 10-month group coaching program runs off of, and I promise it works. So we're going to take this framework, we're going to squish it down over to an 8-week period so that you can build out the first 100 days experience and be completely done with it and have it fully implemented and rocking and rolling inside of your practice within just 8 weeks. So you're going to walk away with a done onboarding experience, no more wishing that you had the client experience that you've always dreamt of. You're not going to be using a mental checklist anymore to onboard clients. You're going to have a truly documented workflow that ideally you can automate inside of your CRM. So this isn't just inspiration. This is truly a transformative program. So we're going to get an onboarding process in your business that gets clients talking, that grows your business, and it finally feels like you've always wanted it to. So we start August 12th and we're all in and all done in just 8 weeks.
Wow. So thank you, Libby, for that very exciting description. So I'm just going to pull it back for a second. Libby and I have had a brainstorming session. She has been so excited about her progress and her experience with Lisa, with our group last year, with some of you who've dialed into her podcast and engaged, that she has offered to do this program with us exclusively for a very reasonable cost. It's going to cost $2,000 for that 8 weeks. And because I believe so much in all of you and what this can mean to your practices, and Libby and Lisa living as really great examples, that for the first 15 people that register, I'm going to cover half the cost. So I will pick up $1,000 of that $2,000 for the first 15 people that sign up. For the next 15, I'll pick up a quarter. So hopefully that gets us involved and engaged. It also gets you trigger finger happy. So we are going to put up a QR code here in just a moment when we say goodbye to Libby. Scan it, sign up. It will be time sensitive. So the first 15 people, you'll get a 50% discount. The next 15, 25%. Lauren will have more information. I promise you this is something we are behind and will actively engage with you on. And Lauren, as you know, who's been a part of the process of one of our most successful offices for a lot of years, has the wherewithal to help you and your assistants. That's the other thing. If your office has an assistant, they are welcome to participate in all of this, because we all know that's what drives the engine behind a lot of this. So they are welcome to join and engage. You do not have to pay an extra $2,000 or $1,000 for them to participate. So this is a group dynamic. It's meant to be among people that are like-minded, that are the same. 8 weeks, we can make a difference together. Lauren, anything you want to pitch in?
No, I'm just excited to be a part of this. I think a lot of offices struggle with just their direction or how they want to do things. So you try out all of these different things and they're not successful. I think doing this as a group, we always collaborate here at the event of the year, but then you go a year and then you're like, oh, we talked about that last year. I feel like those 8 weeks will really give everybody an opportunity to come together, share their practices, best practices, and then get a lot of information from Libby. Just amazing.
The words that come to my mind are consistency and efficiency. And I'll give one last, and that's inspiration, right? So hopefully in our own groups, we can inspire one another and gain inspiration from folks that are getting those quick wins, right? Libby, would you say that's a fair takeaway?
Oh, absolutely. Use this process. So you start to see and feel the results almost immediately. So it's one of my favorite to do with advisors, especially in this type of a virtual setting, because you can go from start to finish really, really quickly, and then finish to implemented super quickly, and then implemented to results even quicker. So it's going to be a great experience. And I think the combination of like all the stuff done for you templates, I've already done all the research on the client psychology. I'm going to share with you the why, the what, and the how, and then having you guys pulling it together for them, all be within the same broker dealer, is a really great benefit because you guys have access to the same tools and resources. So I think it's going to be amazing. And I love, love, love the reward for taking action, right? The faster you sign up, the more you save. I absolutely love that concept.
All right, wonderful. Any questions real quick before we leave, especially of Libby, of the program itself, or of anything, from that side? I can't see. No?
Over here,
Over there. Okay.
In one of the sessions, you're not available to be on it, and will it be reported? And you could go back.
So she was asking, are we going to record the sessions in case you have to miss one?
Correct.
Yeah, are you asking me?
Yep.
Or
Yes.
yes. The answer either way is yes. Yes, they will all be recorded and made available. So if you can't attend, you won't miss out on any of the goodness.
We will have, we actually have out in the gallery area now, a description of the program, including all of the dates, which sessions will be held when, and what you can expect from that process. So there is more information available. And again, you can reach out to either myself or Lauren. Alvis, do you want to just, I think we can say a thank you to Libby and goodbye. I don't think you can see us, but we appreciate you.
You guys know how it is.
Thank you so much. And Alvis, if you wouldn't mind, before we slide into a break, just advance the slides for a sec so we can put up the QR code. There we go. And we will segue to our first break. We have just one round of breakout sessions this morning. After a little refreshment break, we will be in here and again in the Marlin room. So welcome you to look at the options for breakout sessions. We will be back in this ballroom after that breakout session for a couple more panels, and then we will start our awards lunch. So In the interim, as you break, again, a reminder that beautiful picture is over in the corner. Please give us your autograph. Thanks so much.